I guess that we could start. I would like to tell you that finally we are here. Today we will speak about the Amazon pricing strategy. That will be a great webinar. We had that before. I know that you love this format. You're asking us to do that. So today we'll speak about the pricing. It's not the best topic where the profit whales could speak, but we have invited so incredible and cool guests that today we'll cover that. And I really want to hear a lot of hacks from them. So the first one is the Adrian Reach, the head of product at SellerSnap. Nice to meet you, Adrian.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And also our, I guess, like top speaker, every time you're asking to add, the Will Hare, the CEO and founder at BellaVix. Nice to meet you, Will.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Okay, perfect. So you're the co-host. You will have a chance to share your screens and to start with your presentation. I will go first. I will go quick. That will be a general understanding. What do we see and how do we work, and we recommend our clients to move with the pricing and with their prices, how to connect the PPC team, for example, or marketing team with that. And after that, Adrian and Will, we will start. So I will go ahead. So today we will speak about how a product price can influence the advertising performance on Amazon. If you, the third speaker, yeah, me, Vitaly Hizhnyak, the CEO at Profit Whales, we are working exactly on growing brands on Amazon and beyond. We are working as the full service marketing agency for e-commerce brands, and our main thing that we do is scale them on Amazon and beyond with the help of the cross-channel approach. We are the partners with a lot of cool marketplaces and social media, and one of the best awards that we have just got is the Amazon Ads Advanced Partner. So today I would like to share some thoughts about the pricing. So the first thing is that price is not the only way to compete. I would like you to understand that. It's like one of the approaches that you need to add, and one of the ways how you could influence the market. And what I would like you to understand, that if you will check the Amazon market, and if you will get a chance to check these, the summary for the on the general analytics, how the Amazon market is performing, you will see that cost per click, your CPC, it's every time growing from the months to months. And there is something that we could see on this graph during the all quarters. And it's really important for you to know that Amazon changing algorithms every time. And right now they're really improving the relevancy. They are working on Amazon SEO. They are working on the advertising in the case of the click share and conversion share. So today we will cover one of the things how you could compete, and that is the price. And I would like to start with the general performance. Please don't start with how to work with the price. Don't start with the too low price or too high price and then do any changes. We recommend to go through the analytics around the market, analytics about your exactly niche, analytics on your closest competitors to check exactly what is the best way for you to set up your price. Also, the important part is that price without coupon. We have checked that a lot of times. It's not so good. It's okay, but your CTR in the case of the advertising much better if you will add a coupon, the small one, and all the things you should have as a plan. I mean, that plan, it's something that you do in the case of the analysis around your competitors, and you create these price understanding what you would like to do during the year from this today date. For example, from year to year, you will set up a plan that's, okay, I see that my competitors increasing in price during the Q4. How I would like to get prepared for that, and how I need to change my price during months to months, yeah, for that. And that will be a great opportunity for you just to have this picture. Maybe you will follow, maybe not, because all these changes around the price should be done based on the data that you have around your account. Also, important part is that you don't start without a niche analytics, niche understanding. Where are you going? Why you have this price? Your price will be top, mid one, low one. Understand why you have this price and what like range of the competition you will get. The next point is that please start with your plan. What do your competitors, and try to compare that. Compare that for your COGS, your understanding of the net margin, your understanding of the advertising budget that you would like to spend, and also calculate the coupons that you would like to you could do, that you could create, because it's really important. Because some people, they just said, okay, if I will lose some positions, I will set up a 30% discount. Unfortunately not. It's not the best way like for you to get started. You should have a plan why you are using like 5% discount, 10% discounts, 15% discounts. You will have a rules for the coupon range, and also get a response from your PPC team regarding the performance, because all your changes that you do, they shouldn't be quick. Like you shouldn't expect results like for the tomorrow, for example, or asking them what happened yesterday. If you change the price, that will take some time, and you will see the difference and the sales volume around your PPC team. For example, if you're connecting with them, if you're working with the agencies, you could absolutely tell them, guys, I would like to change the price, or I have changed the price. Let's measure the performance. That is extremely important, because unfortunately, if we will not measure changes, we will not understand what changes perform these results. One of the case studies from our client is the example how we move months to months. Unfortunately, it's like low understanding of the numbers, but here's like the 27, 28, 30, 31, and 32 and point half. We just start increasing the price step by step, and we connect that with the price and organic results in PPC. For us, it's really important was to connect this one line, like the highest one is the organic results, this one, the PPC sales. We started from testing the price and see the performance, how people are reacting to that, how your competitors working with the price. And we try to add like for each dollar, each time, and see the performance from month to month, and see how the sales volume are changing. And that is like one of the successful experience, how to change the price. Why? Because we had a really growing market. We have a really great product. In the case of the reviews, we understand that we could compete. We set up a great PPC campaigns like to boost and to get more sales. That is important for Amazon to show that you are on demand, right? You are on the level where people asking for you, buying you, and you could increase the price and you still start getting sales. Yeah, it's really important. And when you see this trend line, you will have a chance to increase the price. So that was during like next 5 months, and there is a great increasing of the price for 20%. Yeah, and right now this price on this level, and we are waiting for the Q4 because that will be a like season for this client. So it's something that we have started from this year. Like it's really fresh, one of the fresh case studies. The next point is that if you will check the niche performance, it's 89% of sellers become like working with us with the profit whales. They change the price based on the sales volume. They just said like, I see that I have low sales, I will decrease the price. I see that I have high sales, I will increase the price. And they don't have like no data for that. They don't have any understanding why they need or don't need to increase or decrease the price. They just think that there is a good things to do. Like what I could do, yeah, as the brand owner. Like okay, let's just play with that. And not for all products, not all products could be boosted with the price increasing. You should know that because we have different niches. Some of the niches they go down in the case of the competitions, and it's not a like good trend line, and it's absolutely okay. If we will perform a changes based on the niche and product data, absolutely we need to do. Follow the nearest competitors and don't perform the price changes frequently. Yeah, please don't do that because you will not have a chance to collect this data. Maybe Adrian will destroy my way of the thinking here because he's working with AI, and I guess, yeah, right now he will have like a lot of space to kick me on this point. So the new way for the advertising, I will cover that quick. We're speaking about the external traffic and the way how you could connect your external marketing campaigns with your price on Amazon. Sometimes you could increase that, add the coupon, and add all these activities to your exactly marketing campaign. How you need to do that? You will set up ads. You will have a landing page with your coupon that you will share. and people will like try to share, for example, their email to get this coupon, and you will try to measure this marketing activity from the external traffic. There is a cool things that right now work, and you could see the conversions. That's like 25% the people who just visited the landing page, they share with us a email and get their coupon, and 80% from these people got a chance to go to the Amazon and check their products. Yeah, and we're just waiting for the results who performed with the coupon. But for you, there is the one of things that you could measure and to add as the external traffic, and the way how you need to connect all these dots. And your dots, it's your Amazon PPC, like what do you have inside, and all these features could be connected with the main understanding how to work with that. As a result, so you need to connect your price with your marketing campaign and team. You will create a coupon strategy for your brands and products. You need to follow a click share and conversion share, like to see where you exactly need to push, or are you getting more than your competitors have, like nearest competitors. Make changes based on the data. Don't make quick price changes and get more like data from your tests that you will launch. Price should be with your coupon to increase the CTR and CVR, and of course, follow the trend in the niche. So thank you guys. Thank you for that. I would like to pass my word to Adrian. Adrian, please go on stage and tell us more about how the real software is working with the prices, not like these PPC agencies, you know.
Right. Well, I'm sure I'll jump in and share some interesting information, but that was a really good presentation. It's nice to hear about the tool from, I guess, from the horse's mouth, because I've never heard the sort of talk before, but I think there's some really interesting insights in there, Vitaly.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Great graphics, by the way. I'm always impressed with your full funnel graphics. You got some solid insights on there. Great job, Vitaly.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I really love that. We are working a lot. We have a good designers for creating all this stuff. Yeah. So, okay, Adrian, go ahead.
Cool. Fantastic. Is everyone able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yep. Perfect. We're 2.5 years into a pandemic, and there's still always the confusion on this one, if anyone can see your screen. Hi, everyone. My name's Adrian, if you're just arriving to the room, and I'm the head of product here at SellerSnap. And I love coming to these sessions because it's such a fantastic opportunity to share insights about what we specifically do at SellerSnap, but also to hear what other people in the space are doing. And today's session is fantastic because it's all about pricing. And like I said before, we eat, breathe, and sleep pricing. We're a repricing software. Today specifically, I want to talk about what we refer to as the reduced profit range, or the ominous reduced profit range, and what that is and how it can affect profit margins. And I wanted to start off with sort of just this quote here, or just this sentence, that maximizing profit isn't just about a good deal. And we know, everyone in this room, everyone that's on the panel, and everyone that's watching that's in e-commerce knows that, sourcing a good deal is really important, but there's many other aspects that go into improving your results or your bottom line. And that might be advertising, like we've just heard about, or we're about to hear with Will as well, or it might be, how you package and load your FBA goods onto a pallet to get it to the fulfillment center, so that you're maximizing space. So there's a lot of elements that go into it, and what I want to talk about today is one specific element that I think a lot of sellers don't necessarily realize, that is a small chunk, but in the long run ends up being quite a significant loss to the profit margin, to that bottom line, and it's what I said before, the reduced profit range. So in essence, the reduced profit range on Amazon, it's the threshold at which an increase in price actually translates to a lower profit margin. So some background or context here: in 2018, Amazon sort of changed how they manage their referral fees. They went from fixed numbers to sort of a step of increases as you increase your landed price. Through consultation with some of our customers, we realized that we had to make a change to how our system worked, how our repricing software worked, to make sure that our customers were always making the highest amount of profit possible at any point when they're selling an item. And we came up with the reduced profit range, or the RPR. And this is just sort of an example of how it works. And it's, obviously a dumbed down diagram, but it works really well to communicate the example. So at the bottom, we see baby products, 10% for the total sales value up to $10, and then 15% for the total sales value greater than $10. And essentially what the reduced profit range is saying is that at $10, you can make your 10%, your $1 profit, but at $10.01, you're immediately making less profit. So it makes sense to price at $10 more than it makes sense to price at $10.01. And that range is actually there, and I don't know the exact number for this specific scenario, but until about $10.83, it actually makes more sense to be priced at $10 than it does to be priced at $10.83. And so when you're selecting software that makes price adjustments on your behalf, you really want to make sure that they're not automatically repricing your listings into a point that you're going to be making less profit off each sale. And so this is an example in regards to referral fees, and we see this in a few other locations in Amazon. The next one is the small and light and FBA fee. So, the FBA threshold in the United States at the moment, it's just raised last month, I think it was, on the 28th of April or we're now in June, the 28th of April to $10. And so because we know that the fee increases at $10, even though the listing is still enrolled in the small and light program, at $10.01, you're immediately making less profits. And so you have to calculate the increase in fees to allow you to calculate what your increase in price or listed price or landed price is in order to maximize and make the same profit at $10 that you would at the next threshold. So that might be the end threshold, which is once again $10.83 or $11. And the last place we sort of see this in the Amazon ecosystem is fee promotions. So Amazon might offer you a discount in fees in exchange for selling an item for, less than a certain amount, less than X. And so at X, if you reprice above that amount, you have to make sure that you're also absorbing the extra fee before you jump a price. So if that threshold was $8, at $8.01, you're immediately making less profit until you get to the other end of that threshold. Where the calculations start to get complicated is when all of these are combined together. And we see this quite often where there is a fee promotion, a small and light fee, and a referral fee all combined into one listing. And so to calculate the lower threshold and the higher threshold, the area that you can't be priced in unless you want to lower your profit is quite complicated. And so what's really important is that when you're, like I said, selecting a system that automatically adjusts price, that they know to calculate your prices outside of these range, even when they're competing with other sellers. And so something that we see all the time with repricing software is this race to the bottom. So, rule-based reprices set conditions to always match competitor or be lower than a competitor. And so you end up in these scenarios where you're penny dropping, penny dropping, penny dropping. And while that's already not a good situation, what's even worse is if you penny drop into one of these ranges. And so a good system would know that if I'm going to go into this range, it's better for me to stay above it or jump below this reduced profit range in order to maximize profit. And so a bit on SellerSnap and how we sort of differentiate is that SellerSnap is designed to win you the buy box at the highest possible price for the longest period of time, based on the percentage share of buy box that you deserve as a seller. And so we're constantly making price changes, trying to raise price where possible, share the buy box where necessary, and not create price wars. And we're doing this taking into consideration the reduced profit range. So our algorithm has this range calculated into it for every listing, for every category. And then where possible, it will jump the range or stay below it if it means increasing your profit margins. That's a really quick presentation from me. I think maybe my shortest webinar presentation of all time. Like I said, my name's Adrian and I'm from SellerSnap. We're an algorithmic repricing software for the Amazon space. And if you're interested in hearing more about what we do, or talking more about the reduced profit range and how you can maximize profits, feel free to reach out to us at our sales at sellersnap.io or through our website at sellersnap.io. And I believe today we're also offering a 10% discount. I don't know the exact amount of months we're offering it for, but we're offering a discount for anyone that was here in the webinar today. So we would love to talk pricing strategy and getting everyone set up, which is already halfway through the year, so Q4 is coming quickly.
Cool. Adrian, thank you so much. I guess one of the main thoughts that I have right now, it's like, why we still don't test that? Why we don't send it for our clients to see and understand how everything is working? It's really incredible. I like the tool. I like the screenshots that you have, and I want really to click to see exactly how everything is working for specific products. But it sounds, really impressive. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
thank you. Yeah, I think it's one of those things, specifically in regards to sort of the RPR, the reduced profit range, that sellers go in and they find an ASIN or a similar product, and they
Mhm.
go into a fee calculator to try and understand what their profit margin will be in order for them to do their procurements and their sourcing, no matter which space they're in, whether in arbitrage or they're in private label, and then you don't know that this is necessarily occurring, and so it's difficult for you to make business decisions without knowing this type of stuff. So I think there's a difficulty in the community.
But you need, I know that like working with the price much better if you are you could analyze a lot of sellers, like not only one. Like the general performance, how niche is like changing, in the case of the price, because a lot of sellers, they are just following the best seller or like nearest to the top sellers. How do they perform? And you just have to, you help to collect all this data in one place and to perform these changes based on your nearest competitors. And I guess, that is really cool.
Yeah, I think it is really cool that we're constantly doing adaptations to this type of tool to make sure it's optimized and working the way it should be. Referral fee groups, small and light fees, fee promotions, they're always changing, and so that sometimes means we need to refine how our algorithm works to deal with certain scenarios. But you're right, there's a lot of data there that can be used, and sort of pulling some of that stuff around and repositioning it into the tool and back into the algorithm is a big part of my day and a lot of fun.
Cool. I like that. Yeah. Will, so please go ahead.
Take it away.
Let's start.
Well, Adrian, great job. I love the visuals on that. And I'll say, I think for me, on the agency side, there's a lot of misunderstandings around fees and some of your visuals that break that down. And it's nice to have a software that operates with the seller in mind, where you guys are trying to get the highest price. We've worked with other repricing solutions where it becomes a race to the bottom, and it's easy to set it, forget it, and at the end of the day, we're all in the business of making money. So really good stuff. Let me share my screen.
And I guess we will close this webinar with two partners for the SellerSnap, like me and Will.
We're signing up.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Perfect. You guys can see my screen all right?
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. Cool. So just to jump in and talk a bit about best pricing strategies and covering today, I'm going to talk a bit about fees. I'm going to talk about the types of pricing, which Vitaly covered a bit on his presentation. And then I have a SEMrush pricing study they did on Amazon specifically. And there's some really great insights that I think will help inform everybody who's listening today. So with that being said, let's talk about my favorite topic, Amazon fees. And so I have right here, and if we end up sharing these presentations, which I'm totally okay with, I have each of the fees linked associated with essentially fulfilling your order and operating on Amazon. Some of the more recent changes that went into effect in 2022, the FBA fees went up, everything went up across the board. The storage, the FBA fees, they added a 5% fuel and inflation surcharge. The small and light program got a break because they raised the price $2, went from $8 to $10. But in a nutshell, it's become a little more expensive to operate your business on Amazon. And that's the name of the game. These systems evolve, and they happen to have a hell of a logistics setup that allows customers to get this ease of fulfillment from a purchasing standpoint. But whenever we talk to clients and we're just looking for a rule of thumb of give or take, how much is it going to cost me fee-wise to operate on Amazon? Roughly, it's about 40% of your selling price. And how we calculate that is 20% pick and pack. So if you decide you're going to do fulfilled by Amazon, which is Amazon Prime, give or take, they charge 20% to fulfill those orders. 15% referral fee, different per category, but these are just some baseline numbers. And then the 5% surcharge, which was just brought on from the fuel and inflation. So give or take, when you're considering items that you're going to list on Amazon and you're wondering, give or take, how much they're going to take out in fees, you could estimate about 40%, give or take. So knowing how much it costs to sell on Amazon, plus how much it costs to get your product there, plus how much it costs to actually get your, the product produced, the cost of goods sold. These are all factors you have to take into account when trying to price your product for profitability on Amazon. So next, let's talk a bit about pricing strategy. So let's dive in. We know what Amazon charges for blood to sell on these marketplaces. So let's talk a bit about the Amazon Marketplace fair pricing policy. So when you start selling on Amazon, when you all those terms and conditions that I know everybody reads through as they're creating their account and signing up, one of the things you agree to is this Amazon Marketplace fair pricing policy. It's designed to prevent sellers from misleading customers, also from price gouging, are some of the aspects of it. But essentially what you're agreeing to is that you're going to price your products on Amazon at a competitive rate where it could be found elsewhere online. Doesn't necessarily mean the lowest. However, they do monitor, and depending on the contrast between where it's sold somewhere else and where you're selling on Amazon, you could have your listings suppressed, taken down, even your account suspended, depending on what the actual problem is. To sum this up, Amazon will check the brand's website. They'll check Walmart, Target, Alibaba, eBay, and Chewy.com, and also some of the larger retailers. So if you sell a food product, they're going to check Whole Foods. If you sell clothing or apparel, they might check Nordstrom Rack, Macy's, the major retailers. They're not checking, Lucy's Consignment somewhere in Virginia. So to give you some perspective, but they do check the web. And if you're selling a product and all of a sudden sales stop, or you notice you don't have the buy box, you could have a sale or a third-party seller selling that product on Walmart. And if the difference between the pricing is enough, Amazon will throttle back until you reduce your pricing. So that's a bit on the Amazon fair pricing policy. And I think it's important to understand, what are your fees and what did you agree to when you said you committed to selling on Amazon? So talking a bit about strategies now. So how do I price my products? How can I be competitive? What are the different pricing strategies? The first is cost plus pricing. And this is really basic. And essentially it's, what's my total cost of the product to get it to fulfillment centers, made, all that fun stuff. What's my estimated ad cost? 10 to 20%, give or take, of that pricing. And then what's my target profit margin? And adding those together will give you an ideal sales price for you to start. This is great because it's simple. It provides emphasis on profit generation and allows you to kind of set your margins. Also, it's great to penetrate markets. If there isn't a lot of market intelligence, if you're relatively new or a different spin on a current marketplace solution, this is a great way to penetrate the market, get some data, and then you could start manipulating pricing or doing a promotional strategy to see the elasticity around pricing to see how you can kick up sales velocity. The next space, which is Vitaly went a little bit in his presentation. I think Adrian mentioned it as well. Competitor-based pricing. So that's essentially like, what's the marketplace doing? How much is it going generally for a garlic press or a lemon squeezer, for example? Generally amongst resellers, they want to be about 2% price difference between the lowest price if possible. It allows us to competitively price our product in the market and to compete with brands. Also allows us to increase sales velocity based on market fluctuations. And this is a great strategy if you have a product that you're maybe competing on with another basket of sellers that sell similar products. You kind of get an idea of, okay, for me to compete, I need to sell here. So I need to get my supplies here. This is where I need my fees to be. So you can even get an idea if it's a good idea or if you could penetrate and be profitable looking at a competitor-based pricing. Last but not least, I combine these two, economy and premium. Economy, small profits. You're really competing on trying to be the lowest price. And this works great with like homogeneous type products. So your house cleaners, your office supplies. Product lines where people are brand agnostic. They don't care where they get their garlic press from. They just care that they have it in their kitchen and they need it in 2 days. So that's a great example of when economy-based pricing is used. Premium-based pricing relies on brand equity to generate shoppers who are willing to pay a higher price. There's usually some type of unique selling proposition that's unique to premium-based products, whether it's associated with the brand, the material, or how the product is manufactured and brought to market. And you could grow into a premium pricing model as you build up equity. And I'll just share a quick example from some of the brands we work with. We work with a premium jewelry company that sells high-end jewelry. And one of our strategies that allow us to operate in both the economy and the premium is we have an Amazon Basics collection. And this allows us to compete on some very mainstream keywords like hoop earrings, stud earrings, certain types of pendants, and allows us to come in at a really competitive price, allowing us to get brand equity and build up that upper funnel brand awareness. And the goal is that they have a great experience with these lower price point items that when they go on to see other items, they'll eventually migrate up to the premium based selection. And that's where a majority of our catalog is. So these can work either way. You could have an economy only and a premium only, but they can also work together depending on what your end goals are for your Amazon, your marketplace, or even your general website strategy. And last but not least, I'll wrap this up with a few more slides, just some really interesting pricing data. As I mentioned, SCM Rush did an Amazon pricing study that was released, I think, in January, February, and it was just some really great insights. So what's the average product / category price and how does it change over time? On average, it's about $142 across all categories. For expensive items, the price range is from $800 to $2,500. And the most expensive items tend to be tech related. And the most expensive item on Amazon at the moment is this Sony home theater video projector, which I have linked here to the left, as well as the cheapest item is this acrylic paint, which is a vendor item because there's no way any seller would be able to move an item for 54 cents. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Does Amazon have happy hours or happy days? They actually do. They don't allow for day parting on the advertising side, but seeing what items actually move from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. Pacific time, sales that bring in the most cash. So generally, shoppers are more likely to buy higher priced items after working hours. Likely they found something at work and they're going home to discuss it with another family member who makes financial decisions. So the story, I believe, on why higher price point items are bought after 5 p.m. Pacific time. Also in the morning, sales aren't the best, but they're the best for lower product price points. So typically, if you're selling an economy-based item or something typical to market, between 4 a.m. and noon Pacific time is kind of the time where people will buy those lower cost items. Are there any high or low price days on Amazon? So for these specific categories, we could see generally right after Christmas, almost across the board minus entertainment. These are the highest points to buy the item, and the lowest price points are around that Black Friday, Cyber Monday timeframe, or early December, trying to get a hold of those Christmas shoppers. So taking off our Amazon hat and going to the shopper hat, if you guys are looking to buy gifts around the holidays, the best pricing you're probably going to get outside of Prime Day is around that Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So good notes for anybody saving up for some fun gifts around the holidays. Last but not least, this is something really interesting, and it lets you know the power that Amazon has. So essentially, they reviewed all the listings across the category that show up organically, and what they found is that Prime-related listings, so this is your lightning deals, your best day deals, like anything that gets an Amazon deal type badge, they get about 80% of the real estate for SERP results to show up on different pages, so on and so forth. 80%, which is incredible. And then everything else falls into that 20%. That's your coupons, limited time deals, getting into toy guides, your Amazon Choice badge. So, a lot of conversations we have is, I don't like to participate in lightning deals. What if I get a bum time and it's not really going to be a lot of traffic? Some of it comes down to real estate in front of mind. So if you have the budget for it and understanding it may not be a direct return on your investment for running some of these things, but over time, because of the placement, because of front of mind, these prime style deals and these breaks on pricing do work really well, which is why they own so much market share on Amazon on search results pages. And that is it for me. I'll turn it back over to the moderators here right now.
Cool. I really like the graphic with the Prime Day. It's really, I guess it's so insightful. If you got a chance to make a screenshot, you should do that because it's extremely important. Yeah, to know how the bestsellers working and how the Amazon like scrap this data, from the all around the niche and based on different changes that you could see. Thank you so much, Will. Thank you for all these insights. It's a really great presentation.
Thanks.
Thanks, Will. That was really great. Thank you.
Awesome. $40,000. I want to know whoever buys that projector when they're doing movie night, because I'm game.
Well, as you said it, I said you said something like and this one, like my one, I was like, is he saying that he owns this? I was like,
is it he? Like, is it he?
I wish.
I guess, Will, it's time to tell the truth,
Yeah. So movie night at my place on Friday, guys. Everybody's invited.
Okay, got it. So, audience, do you have any questions for us, for Adrian, for me, for Will? Please share your questions if you have.
I have a question.
Okay, Bruce, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys. Thank you very much. Great presentation. I really appreciate it. I've learned a lot. I thought I knew everything, right? There's always something new to learn. And repricing is fascinating and very important, or pricing. Pricing, first of all. And it's hard to nail it down. It's this conceptual thing where, yeah, cost plus, or what are my competitors doing? And we try our best with that. And it's always a guess, right? We put the price up. It's like, I hope it's not too high. I hope it's not too low. I hope there's somebody else beating my price like in 5 minutes. And you can't really monitor that, especially with a lot of SKUs. So I don't think about it. I do my best and I let it go. But I just recently started using this repricing application. I'm sorry, Adrian, it's a competitor, but I didn't know about you until now. But I just like to talk about it a little because it's working really well, and it's so scary. I thought it might be illegal. And they're a little different model. I like what you said, and I'm not sure this is everything you offer, but what you were talking about was making sure that you're not going outside the limitations that Amazon sets on you and the price. They ding you on price when you get above a certain price, their fees will go up. I understand that. I don't think my application takes that into consideration, but what the one I'm using does is it's based on sales velocity and inventory levels. It's not a repricing tool, and this is what I always thought, that repricing tools were basically set up for competing with the buy box, which I don't do. I'm a private label seller, and I don't have to worry about the buy box. But how do I know that my pricing is optimized, both too high or too low? And what they do is they base it on inventory levels. If I only have 6 items left, then yeah, I'd raise the price if I had the time and if I knew it was going on. Or if your sales velocity is too high, I'm selling a ton of them, maybe my competitor dropped out or something, they'll automatically raise it. And they do that a lot. And I hope it's doing me well. I've certainly made a lot of money just by that happening. But then watching Will's presentation, I saw there are other factors. There's time. A repricer should be working. I should set it to, okay, from midnight to 8 a.m., the prices should be lower. And then they should be higher at night. And also on certain days, they should be automatically raised up. And that's a new thing for me too. So there's all these things that determine pricing, and I'll just say I vote for putting it in an automatic tool because I just can't watch everything, and the AI and your algorithm is probably smarter than me with all these factors I'm not even sure about anymore. And so I give a big thumbs up for repricing tools and making them better and making them more sophisticated, because this is part of the great opportunity on this platform is to be able to change prices, you know, exquisitely all the time. And we can't do that, but kind of, yes, we can if we have the right tools. So bravo to you people that are doing all this work, and, you know, keep doing it, and, you know, keep informing us. And I will probably be contacting some or all of you about helping me in other ways too. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Bruce.
Really interesting insights too, how you're using the repricer even as a private labeler. So makes sense, the inventory and all that other stuff. Great insights.
Yeah, it's like thousands of dollars a month that I was making that I wasn't making like a couple of months ago, and I'm not doing anything different. And what I find out is that people will pay more for my product than I thought they would pay. So I can't believe they're paying $35 instead of $29. And, you know, sale after sale, day after day. And it's like, well, I priced it too low. How do you know if you priced it too? How do you know if you priced it too high? It's like, well, obviously if people are buying it or not. But then the finer point is, can you get an extra $2 out of each sale? And until there's more data, I don't know. Or maybe somebody can tell me, no, that's not going to last, or here's why that doesn't work completely. So.
I think that's a really interesting insight there, Bruce. You know,
Adrian, I guess you need to fix the microphone.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you
can't hear me?
Cutting in and out.
No, you guys still can't hear me?
No, we could, but it's not so okay.
Not so good. Okay, well, we'll hopefully make do. Because we okay?
No, we could hear you, but it's not the best that you could do.
You guys chat. I'll try to work on my sound for a second.
Yeah. I think you know that. I mean, Adrian's gonna have way better insights than me, but we like testing pricing elasticity. Not only is like there's seasonal effects, there's new competitors entering the marketplace. It's almost something you always have to test, which is why it makes sense to use a tool like SellerSnap that can help kind of navigate those treacherous waters as you try to figure out how do I get the most profit out. Interesting, the aspects around making sure as inventory gets lower, because we'll do that. This like the worst thing to do is to go out of stock. So we'd rather raise prices than deal with no stock and lose all our SEO juice we built up. Are you back, Adrian?
Can you guys hear me?
Much better. Yeah.
Fantastic. There we go. A bit of a tech crisis when we got there. Yeah, Bruce. What I was saying was, it's really interesting that the software that you're using. I think that there is the golden goose is out there to be found for finding an algorithm that does optimize price, because it's challenging. And you mentioned something about using velocity, and one of the complications with using velocity as a metric that is backing price changes is consumer preference. And we know that in one specific day, when we look at this internally, we look at sort of sales of our customers, and we have a lot of private label customers that use our tools, and we look at their sort of velocity day by day, sort of big sets of it, and we see that for any specific reason unbeknown to us, there just could be a complete and utter drop in sales. And so when you can't get as real-time information as you would like from Amazon's API to make these sort of decisions, and then you have a drop in velocity, and that's not necessarily related to your price at all. It could just be, like I said, consumer preference, and you adjust price so significantly, you have an adverse effect. So that's one of the complications of coming up with a solution that does it. The sort of metrics that you really want to look at, I think, when you're trying to assess whether or not an increase of price has had a negative effect on your listing's performance, is look at your advertising metrics. Look at your conversion rates and your CTR, because those are metrics that include your listed price. And then if you're not seeing a decrease in those values, but you're raising price, it might just indicate that you can continue to raise price. So those are just some things that you can do on your side, outside of your software, to see, well, is this having an adverse effect? Is there any chance for me to increase my velocity? Have I found this economic equilibrium where raising my price is increasing my profit, but actually losing me velocity? So just something to keep in mind, but it's really interesting that you brought it up, and thanks for chatting today, Bruce.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Cool. Any more questions? Okay, I guess we are good for now. Once again, thank you so much, Adrian. Thank you so much, Will, for all these insights, for sharing all these incredible things, how to work with the price. I guess that is extremely important for Amazon sellers to know how to deal with that, how to perform all the changes, what metrics to follow, when to perform the price. And as I have mentioned, we will have the recording, like a recording of this webinar, so we will have a chance to come back to that. Yeah, and please provide us with any comments, questions, recommendations. Don't be afraid to reach us out of the webinar with the all contact info that we have leave. Where the social media, it will be easy to find the Adrian, will be easy to find Will, me.